Welcome, students, to another episode of Manhood Academy podcasting. We were so close to starting on time, but then we didn't. But you won't even know that since this is a podcast. We got with us today Franchise. We have Boggles, the beardless Boggles. We have Tim Will. We have Travo. And we have the Blue. The blue one. Okay. So we're going to be in the expression section today. And we're going to start with Mr. Franchise. Page 3. Let's get it on. Let's see here. Anything exciting in page 3?
I like this. Might be page 2. I think there were a couple later.
Nope. Nothing on page 3 that's too exciting. Let's go to page 2. Okay. No, that looks like a paragraph. Franchise, blah, blah, blah.
Scroll down.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yes?
I think we did that one.
We did that one? Okay. Let's go, go,
Scroll
go.
over the photos. There's more photos attached to it.
Feels good, bro? Right here?
Yeah, that one.
Alright, let's hit it. Franchise.
Oh, yes.
Go!
Start reading?
No, start staring at Travo.
Okay. Okay, recently I haven't been confident in myself because I don't believe that I've acquired enough.
Speak up. Hold on, you're very low. Speak up.
Recently I haven't been confident in myself because I don't believe I've acquired enough training socially to go up and talk to random women.
Oh, motherfucker. Hold on. Boggles! You cocksucker, mute your mic next time.
Sorry.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that, Mr. Franchise.
No problem. My most recent situation with trying to...
Wait, read the first sentence again, because I had a comment about your first sentence.
Okay. Recently I haven't been confident in myself because I don't believe that I've acquired enough training socially to go up and talk to random women.
I agree. Keep going.
My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym. I was not only excited when I signed up for the school recreation center, but I was already packed and ready to work out the same day I signed up. Like a child entering his favorite toy store for Christmas, I was amped to try out new equipment, weight machines, a new environment, and most notably, the martial arts room. I love to stay active and fit because I know I feel physically.
Okay, hold on. Chavo's going to teach you how to read this without falling asleep. Chavo, you ready?
The last sentence?
The paragraph.
The whole? Okay.
The whole paragraph, Chavo. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's hit it.
Recently, I haven't been confident in myself because I don't believe that I've acquired enough training socially to go up and talk to random women.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. You know what helps with the podcast if I turn up the volume? There we go.
Yes.
Now I can hear everybody. Amazing.
Nice. And we can hear them when you record it.
Yeah. Okay, go for it.
My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym. I was not only excited when I finally signed up for the school recreation center, but I was...
Hold on a second. Who the fuck is typing?
I'm taking notes.
Okay, take notes after the podcast, or if you listen to the podcast, but don't take notes during the class. Unless there's quiet. Yeah, because it's too distracting.
Alright.
Go for it.
I was not only excited when I finally signed up for the school recreation center, but I was already packed and ready to work out the same day I signed up. Like a child entering his favorite toy store for Christmas, I was amped to try out new equipment, weight machines, a new environment, and most notably, the martial arts room. I love to stay active and fit because I know I feel physically good about myself when I wake up every morning.
What'd you think, Blue?
I don't know. It was okay. I mean, I was blown away by it.
Blue is talking in an electronic robot voice. Blue, disconnect and reconnect. Try it again, Blue. Tim Will, what'd you think?
I think that Travo made the best of it. I mean, when I read it...
So he made a good thing out of a bad situation.
Yes.
Well, Travo, he did really well for sucking, is what he's trying to say. What else, Tim Will?
Thanks, Tim.
No. When I was reading the expression, I wasn't drawn in.
So you were saying, Travo, good job for sucking. A for effort. F for accomplishment.
I think Travel did a better job of voice inflection and conveying it than it would have been if I had just read it.
Hit it, Tim Will.
Recently, I haven't been confident in myself because I don't believe that oh crap.
Blue just joined. He's adjusting the screen.
Oh crap.
It just went from
click on it.
The blurred franchise for some reason. Recently, I haven't been confident in myself because I don't believe that I've acquired enough training socially to go up and talk to random women. My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school's campus's recreation center, aka the gym. I was not only excited when I finally signed up for the school recreation center, but I was already packed and ready to work out the same day that I signed up. As a child entering his favorite toy store for Christmas, I was amped to try out new equipment, weight machines, a new environment, and most notably, the martial arts room. I love to stay active and fit because I know I feel physically good about myself when I wake up every morning.
What'd you think, Bargles?
Too much static information being conveyed. That's pretty much most of the post. I mean, there are some reactions here and there. I mean, since I know franchise, I'm like, oh, cool, he was at the gym, and a little bit I'm getting into his experience.
So you're enjoying it through the fact that you actually have a relationship, but if you didn't have a relationship...
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be reading it. I would probably treat it like Billy Gilligan's or somebody's.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. By the way, can you answer this first sentence here? Recently, I haven't been confident in myself because I don't believe that I've acquired enough social training to go up and talk to random women.
I don't think a franchise trains enough. That's true.
Obviously, but I want you to answer the question. What should he be doing?
Well, first of all, he should be writing an expression post every day. I don't think he's doing that. At the academy, he can try talking to students more. In the chat room, he can practice conveying his reactions. He can be training in this is his gym.
This is your gym right here. You should be talking. Yeah. You should be working on forming relationships with students.
And we tried practicing when we were in person. We were trying to talk to each other, and we noticed one of the biggest problem is we're both just like giving information to each other. Like we're catching us up. And that seems like the number one problem, like where we...
Give me an example.
The traffic jam.
Go on.
Remember in the traffic jam?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh yeah, this traffic jam sucks. And they're like, oh yeah, man, shit, we should have taken the other exit. Oh, fuck. Then we're like, shit, we should be conveying our reactions. So then we tried a little bit of how a car, this thing makes me feel. But for the most part, by default, it's like entropy of conversation. We just, yeah, man, damn it. Oh, we should have gone to the other place. It's more like information conveying than sharing our reactions that much.
Yeah, we should have gone here. Let's go there.
Yeah. Like, once we go to this place, oh yeah, there's not enough chicks. Okay, let's go to the other place. But I think the problem is we can't really have good conversations. Even though I talk to a couple of chicks and stuff, I can't keep the conversation going because I'm like, I don't have enough training, even like keeping a conversation going for a long time. A good conversation.
How are your relationships with students at the academy?
You asking me?
Yes, you.
Fail.
Well, there you go. So you have no training, and then you're going out into the real world to practice.
Well, with the girl, yeah, you're right. I mean, I can initiate, but yeah, later on I get stuck because I don't have the training to keep extended conversations.
Well, so the problem is lack of proper training, not just training. You're spinning your wheels right now. Tim Will, how are your relationships with students at the academy? Yes, Blue. Tim Will, how are your relationships with students at the academy?
Not that great.
Not that great. So not a lot of training, forming relationships with strangers who are here for the express purpose of practicing forming relationships with you, ironically. Interesting dilemma you have. You are here to train to form relationships with other students who are here to train to form relationships with you, and yet you both are not forming relationships. Interesting dilemma, wouldn't you say, Tim Will?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I think that's the case with all of us. Like,
yeah, that's a funny thing. You guys are all in class. You guys all know, oh, that guy above me, that guy below me on the screen, I'm supposed to be training to form a relationship with him, yet I don't. And then I go out in the real world. Oh, fuck, I don't know what to talk to people about. I don't know what to do. This is difficult. I wonder why. Failure to follow directions. Mr. Care Bear, what happened to your picture? He must not be there. Mr. Care Bear, you got your mic on mute?
His dad is in the room.
Oh, can't talk. Gotcha. No problem. Travo,
Yeah,
how's your relationship with Tim Will?
I would say
Not great?
Yeah,
Terrible?
probably somewhere between shitty and very bad.
Do you see him? Do you see him in class a lot? Do you see his face in class a lot?
Yeah,
I bet you don't realize he joined the academy to form a relationship with you.
apparently not.
I bet you don't realize you joined the academy to form a relationship with him.
Yeah, I haven't realized that yet.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah. Open your mouth when you speak. I bet you've been in the same lecture with Tim Will when we talk about, hey, it's a good idea for you students to train by getting to know each and every student at the academy. You ever been in one of those classes?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. Hey, Tim Will, have you ever been in those classes where Professor Plum talks about forming relationships with other students?
Yes.
You've been in one of those classes with Travo.
Yes.
Hey, DBP, how are your relationships with other students at the academy?
They're bad.
How is your relationship with Tim Will?
We don't have one.
You ever been in a class with Tim Will where I talk about, hey, students, any student you don't know in class, you should form a relationship with that person?
Yes, I've been in one of those classes.
Oh, BZS, welcome aboard.
How's it going?
It's going swell. Thank you. Anybody not have headphones?
I don't.
Can anybody that doesn't have headphones go plug in your headphones so we don't get feedback?
Okay. I thought I had noise canceling, but I'll plug it.
Thank you, sirs.
Oh, I did too.
Blue. Yo, Blue.
Yes, sir.
How are your relationships with other students?
Yo. You know what? It's not good. I mean, a lot of the students are nice guys, and I have a very special relationship with them, kind of like an acquaintance, but I haven't formed a deep relationship. And my relationship with Bob was he gets on my nerves. And
Your relationship reminds me of your internet connection. It's terrible. Non-existent. Your relationship with other students, non-existent. And I guess you just disconnected, but I'm guessing Blue has also been in classes where we talk about students forming relationships with other students. Let's unmute Franchise's mic. Because I got to ask Franchise a question now.
Yes.
Franchise,
Yes.
how are your relationships with other students at the academy?
Not good at all. I wish I could do better.
They're just like your microphone, very shitty. But at least you have an excuse. You just started the academy. These guys have been in actual lectures where we say, hey, students, you should be forming relationships with every other student at the academy. If you do not have a relationship with other students at the academy, you have failed. You have failed the course. You are here to learn how to talk to, I gotta mute you again. You are here to learn how to talk to, actually, let me trick you. Let's see here. Blue. No, let's see. Blue's still on lag. DBP. Oh, we got somebody with an amazing icon.
Yes?
DBP, are there any students you have relationships with there any students you have poor relationships with that you don't like?
That I don't like?
Yes.
I don't like Big L, but I talk to him. But there's no student that really annoys me. I've kind of smoothed things
Why
over.
don't you like Big L? I didn't ask for your other excuses. I said, why don't you like Big L?
Why don't I like Big L? Because he always stutters. It's just very painful to listen to him, and whenever he tries to, you can tell that he tries so hard to convey his reaction, but it's always over the top. He tries too hard.
Have you told him he tries too hard?
Yeah.
What have you done to let him know he tries too hard?
I've told him many times that what he does is over the top, and it's ridiculous. We even had this conversation last night.
Okay, so he just hasn't listened to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim Will.
Yeah.
Anybody you have poor relationships with at the academy that you don't like?
I have to say no.
Like everybody at the academy?
There's no one there that I don't like. There's no one there that I avoid talking to. I just
Nobody
I
here.
just don't consistently.
You just don't talk to them. Got it. Travo, anybody at the academy you don't like that you don't have? That's the reason why you don't have a relationship with them.
No.
Well, we're gonna have trouble answering my trick question then. Boggles.
Yeah.
Anybody at the academy you don't like that you don't have a good relationship with?
Big L.
Big L. Why?
I think he has some mental problem. Like, people have told him things repeatedly. He doesn't listen. I think maybe he didn't have enough discipline growing up. He doesn't, like, things don't stick to him. He'll do the same thing over. So it's pretty frustrating.
Remind you of anybody with a mental problem?
I knew that was coming. Wait, who knew that was coming? Well,
I knew that was coming, but did that remind you of anybody, Boggles?
yeah, well...
Somebody with mental problems that doesn't pay attention and keeps repeating the same problems over and over? Does that remind you of anybody?
Yes.
Who?
Me.
Okay. So you have annoying guy. You have Big L, annoying guy, does not listen, stutters. What are the problems we mentioned? DBP. Did we cover all the problems?
Oh, you're talking to me. Over the top.
Over the top dramatic expression. So it's not enjoyable to talk to Big L, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So would you say there's problems with Boggles, DBP?
Definitely.
As an instructor, what do I do with students who cause me problems? Do I just sit back and kick back and hope that the problems correct themselves?
No, you punish them. Tell them what they have to do.
Yeah. I expect my relationships to have a certain standard. So if students here are causing problems, I'm going to address them because I expect to have a certain standard of a relationship with them at the academy, at the bare minimum. You should at least have a working relationship with the people at the academy. So if people are causing you problems or people are doing things which are, somebody is over the top dramatic,
yeah,
and it's a problem. It's causing a rift in the relationship because that's not meeting your need. Clownery is not meeting your need, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not actively doing something about that, you're not shaping the relationship. It's not gonna go anywhere. The other person's not gonna shape it.
Yeah.
Same with people outside the academy. Aren't there annoying coworkers or annoying buddies you know that they do something and you're like, fuck, I hate when they do that. Or I hate the way they do this.
Yeah, you bet.
Have you guys done anything about it?
Not much.
Nah.
Nope.
Not much. Very passive.
I've got into fights, that's about
Yeah,
it.
you've gotten in fights about it. You should be working to shape it. This is shaping academy. You have to learn how to throw the clay on the wheel and form it into a pot. A lot of you guys are just shouting at the clay, form it into a pot. Doesn't work that way. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to start working the clay.
I expect other people to just step up, and that is the problem.
You guys have this category of people where you have annoying people in your head that you just tolerate. You have a lot of relationships that you just kind of tolerate.
Yeah.
You don't shape them. Well, here's the place to learn how to shape relationships. So I'm going to say this once again. If you don't know any other student at the academy, if you don't know every other student at the academy, you're failing. Especially you people in the classroom who have heard this lecture multiple times. If you see that same face coming into class all the time, and you're like, hey, that's my new neighbor. Or that's my old neighbor from 10 years. I've lived by that guy for 10 years. I don't even know his fucking name. I don't know what he does.
Plum.
Yes.
In Biggal's case, since I can't punish, I think I'll just have to wait till DBP works with him, and then once he's a certain point, then I can continue.
Okay. Fair enough. Other people that don't have the plum rule applied to them, you have many options. But only one good option. So, what do you think you should be doing, Travo? Why? Let's answer that with an even better. Let's tie this into one of the other things that we use here. What's one of the key tools we have at the academy for getting things done? Tim Will, what's one of the key things we have at the academy for getting things done?
The chat room.
That's a lot of places where things don't get done. Travo, what's one of the BZS? What's one of the key tools we have at the academy for getting things done?
The schedule.
The schedule. Why does it help us get things done?
Because you have it's a way for you to keep track throughout the day goals and more than anything, just discipline, self-discipline to keep yourself.
What does it do to you? What does a schedule do to you?
It creates pain because it's...
No, it doesn't create pain. What does it do to you? Schedules don't slap you in the face. They just sit there.
Are you still self-inflicted? They limit you.
Yes. The schedule limits you. The schedule restricts you. So, in order to get something done, you have to learn how to limit and restrict yourself. Now, how would we apply a schedule to saying hello to Travo, since we never say hello to Travo and never talk to Travo? How would we use that schedule to accomplish that?
Schedule at a certain time, like let's say, ask him when he's available and find it at your time. And then
maybe we could schedule in talk to 2 students at the academy today.
Okay.
Or even if we were lazy asses, we could say talk to 1 student, talk to at least 1 student at the academy today. I have a block of 30 minutes I've sectioned off to talk to a student at the academy. It's on my schedule. That means it's a restriction. It's a limitation. I have to do it.
Okay.
Don't you guys even have a schedule group where you meet with Torero?
Yes, we do.
And check and see if you're meeting the demands of your schedule? Well,
we haven't had a second meeting yet. And even the first meeting we started off and it was just like died. We don't have proper leadership.
Wait. I think Boggles just said the magic word. You don't have what?
We don't have proper leadership.
Hold on, we got Mr. Fidgeter. Hold on. Stop fidgeting. Okay.
We don't know how to lead an entire, even hanging out me and franchise after 2 hours, I don't know what to do.
Okay, you don't know what to do. So what's the real problem here? Not knowing how to do what?
Get our needs met.
Okay, but you already said the key word, which we're missing. BZS, what do you guys don't know how to do?
To take initiative.
Take initiative and to do what with it? To Tim Will?
We don't know how to lead the
yes,
relationship.
You don't know how to lead the relationship in the direction. So you either don't know where you're going, which means you don't know what your needs are. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know what your needs are. So that's number 1. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know what your needs are. Number 2, what's the other problem? Travo?
We're lazy.
Okay, 3 problems.
That's a general overall problem. What's the other problem, Tim Will? Okay, you said it. You said the main problem here is we don't know how to lead a relationship. So obviously that can mean we either don't know what our needs are, so we don't know what direction to go in, or
we don't know. We know where to go. We just don't know how to get there. We have no training.
DBP what?
I was going to say we don't have practice.
Yes, you don't have training. You don't have practice. Exactly. Tim Will just said it.
Yeah.
You don't have training and you don't have practice. So, if you don't know which direction to practice in, that means you don't know what your needs are. You haven't read the ebook section 2, which spells out what you should be doing as a man, your function. But more importantly, when you're leading a relationship, you have to know what the other person needs. How do you know what the other person needs, BZS?
Because of your own needs.
Yes, you have to know what your own needs are. Do you know what you need in a relationship, Boggles?
Positive incentive.
He just needs positive incentive. Let's see.
Fun conversations, affection.
Fun conversations, affection. Travo, what else do you need in a conversation, in a social interaction?
Oh, I got it.
Travo, we must all have a lag here. What?
Authority?
You need authority in your conversations. Sounds like a lot of fun times talking to you. DBP. What do you need in your conversation?
You needed to meet your needs. You needed to.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Tim Will, what do you need in your conversations?
I don't know.
Wow, no wonder nobody knows how to get their needs met. They don't even know what their own needs are.
I don't even know how to keep conversations going. We know some degree, but that's about it. We're like, all right, see you later, bro.
Well, I know today when I woke up, I'm like, I need some breakfast. So I know I need food. I know I got to make a plan to go get some food or make some food.
I know I need food too, but I don't know what to do with travel once you're done.
You don't know what?
I don't know what to do with travel once you're gone from this conversation.
Boggles, we're not even there yet.
Oh, okay.
Motherfucker. Boggles doesn't even know how to keep an order in a conversation. He's jumping all over the fucking place. I know I need order in a classroom to explain a point. I know I don't just need to skip to the end point.
Okay.
I know I need to be specific, and I can't just say, hey guys, you need to meet your needs.
Okay.
What the fuck does that mean? You don't even know what your needs are. So I know I need to be more specific. Otherwise, you guys won't know what needs are. So then I know that I need to make an example to give you a concrete example so you could understand. Maybe I could give you an analogy to paint a picture of what it's like to meet your needs or what it's like to actually draw a plan up. So I know these things by understanding what? How do I even know these things? I have to know what my own needs are. I have to know what an orderly conversation is like. I have to know that I need order in a conversation. I have to know that when I'm talking to somebody, I don't want them to jump all over the place and I can't follow them. Or they're, giving analogies out of turn or not expressing themselves in an orderly way like Boggles. That doesn't meet my social need. So, if I'm talking to somebody, I gotta know what my needs are. So let's give a for instance. Now I need specific examples because I can't just say, hey, you guys gotta get your needs met in conversations or in social interactions. So I woke up today, I realized I have a need for food. Then I realized after my stomach's full, I can't just sit here and stare at the wall. So that means what, Travo?
You have to go and eat food.
Motherfucker. I got my belly full of food. Tim Will, what do I need? After that, I can't just stare at the wall.
You need some sort of stimulation.
Yeah, I need stimulation. What kind of stimulation do I need? Do I need to go to work? Oh, it's a Saturday. I don't work on Saturday. I need to go have fun. How do I get fun, DBP?
Doing things with other people.
Yeah, I need people. I need a relationship with somebody. So I need to maybe call some friends or interact with people. So I call up my friend. Okay, buddy, we're going to go do something or we're going to hang out. I need to talk to them. Why am I hanging out with them? To get stimulation. So what kind of stimulation do I want? I want affection. I want good times. I want camaraderie.
You want mental stimulation.
I want mental stimulation. I want them to share their thoughts with me. I want to share my thoughts with them. I want to have emotional stimulation. I want to not just share thoughts, but to be affected by those thoughts and have an enjoyable time sharing those thoughts. So I need to share some emotional content. I want the thoughts to stimulate me. So, I want something that is of a personal nature. I want personal thoughts. I don't want just somebody to say, "Hey, we're going to go play golf, or we're going to go here. We're going to do this thing." I want to hear some personal reactions about what that person is going through. I want to hear what's going on with travel, not just what he's doing, but why he's doing it. What are his thoughts about the things he's doing? These are my requirements. If I don't get these requirements met, I don't have a good time with Travo. So if I'm hanging out with somebody, I'm not having a good time. What's the problem, BZS? Hold on. Google Plus is tormenting us with bad connections. DBP, if I'm hanging out with somebody, not getting my needs met, what's the problem? I just gave you the answer. If I'm hanging out with somebody, if I'm hanging out with somebody and not having a good time, what's the problem?
You're not getting your needs met.
Yeah, not getting my needs met.
I thought that was a trick question.
Yes, that's a trick question.
What else do I need in there?
The trick is I didn't realize I was giving you the answer. So if I'm not getting my needs met, what's the other problem then?
I don't know how to get my needs met.
I don't know how to get my needs met because what?
Because I don't know my expectations well. I don't know where I want to go. Lack of training.
Lack of training, number one.
Lack of practice, same thing.
Yes, got that. And?
Just not knowing what the fuck to do. Lack of direction.
Yes, lack of direction, not knowing what.
What to do. Go on. Where you're going. What to do.
Yes, why don't we know that?
Because we don't have practice. It seems like a circular thing.
Well, to practice, you have to know what direction you're going in.
We don't.
So, what don't you know?
We know we need to have fun. We don't know how to form a relationship. We don't know. Yeah.
Travo. Funny guy.
What don't we know?
Ebook. Pleasure. Restriction. Schedule. Oh, and students just throw out answers.
I don't know what we don't know.
You don't know your yes.
I don't know what we don't know. Yeah.
We don't know our needs. Yes, we don't know what our needs are.
Okay, my need is to have fun.
Yes, that's a vague need. We need to get specific. Just like when I talk to you, I can't just say, "Hey guys, go meet your needs." What do I have to do?
You have to tell us how to do it.
Yeah, I have to tell you how to do it. And then what else?
Give us examples, models.
Give you examples, models. I can't just tell you what to do. I have to tell you what things, what not to do, but I have to,
how to do it.
how to do it, but also
how to do it.
we have to talk about
Examples.
what, motherfucker. We have to talk about what your needs are.
Other than fun.
Other than fun. Don't we have to get specific? What is fun?
I want my bros to smile.
You want your bros to smile. What does it mean? Yeah, and you want them to not do stupid things, right?
Yes.
So we want them to smile, and we want them to not do stupid things.
Oh, we should think about both, yes. Okay.
Okay, so what do we have to do to get those needs met?
Well, for them to smile, I have to convey my reaction.
I have to convey my personal reactions.
Yeah, and
So there's a huge deficiency of practice of conveying your personal reactions.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that's the reason why the other person isn't conveying their personal reactions.
Yep.
So what's the real problem then, Travo?
Lack of training. Lack of training. No, I'm assuming.
Dysfunctional.
Lack of taking the initiative.
Order. Academy. Throw out any terms. Just keep throwing them out. Oh, Boggles, what'd you say? Hold on, Boggles, what'd you say?
Ah, fuck. The problem is the lack of taking initiative to share volunteer your reactions to other students.
Okay, so what's that mean, then?
You're not initiating relationships.
You're not initiating relationships.
Well, because people are scared if the other person is going to receive their reactions in a positive manner. They're not sure. They haven't tried it. They're worried. They're like, it's safer to be where they are at.
They don't have enough practice in class writing expression posts and talking to other people, conveying their personal reactions. They just don't practice conveying their personal reactions.
Yes, I mean...
Do people know, do you know what it means to convey your personal reaction, Tim Will?
Sharing your thoughts, your feelings.
So in general, you have an idea of which way to go. You know what it means in theory to convey your personal reactions, to share your thoughts and feelings.
To some degree, yes.
What are your thoughts and feelings about what I just said?
How the fuck do I do this? I kind of know it. People kind of know it. I mean, Travis writing his expression post, but it's not translating into, hey, Boggles, blah, 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 and it's fun. I'm like laughing, oh shit. It's not
well,
that
there you go. Boggles just gave you a prime example of sharing his personal reaction. That would create a functional relationship with a student if you told that to another student. Tim Will?
Yeah.
What do you think and feel about what I just said?
Right now I just feel that there is, there's a lot of pressure on me to do it right.
You feel a lot of pressure
to do it right the first time, and if I trip up in a conversation, I would just kick myself for just not knowing.
Right. And you don't even share this. You don't share this thought because you're worried about not doing it right, ironically. So you don't share this thought with us. And so we can't even address that thought now. Oh, I got to mute your mic again. There we go. Oh, peace and quiet.
What the hell is that?
That was Franchise.
Franchise's mic is a little mess, so I got to mute it when it's not talking.
Franchise can go get a mic. We could do that thing together.
You can do that together. Now you have an activity.
Now we have an activity, Franchise.
All right, shut up for a second. Shut up. Tim Will.
Yeah.
You're scared of sharing that thought, but that thought is attractive and will encourage the students to open up with you. And also, it will maybe get feedback about that thought. You're scared of screwing up, but that is a major dysfunctional perspective that's going to get in the way of improving your social interactions. What should somebody tell you? Travo, how would you react to Tim Will saying, I'm afraid to start social interactions because I'm afraid of screwing up?
I would feel...
What would you tell him if you're going to help him out? DBP.
What would I tell him?
Yeah, he's afraid of screwing up, so he obviously he's not going to initiate any social interactions. He doesn't want to screw it up.
I tell him I feel the same way, and that all the things we talk about in class, they all sink into my head in class, and then when I actually go out and start talking to people, it all just goes out the window. It's like when you're in an actual social interaction, it's much different.
Well, in an actual social interaction.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys, this is a social interaction right now. We're having a social interaction right now. This is an actual...
We're referring to in person.
Yeah, exactly.
We are in person right now. I can see your faces. You guys can see each other's faces. This is a social interaction. This means you are trying to have social interactions with people outside the academy who don't know what you're doing, who don't have a vested interest in you succeeding.
Yes.
And yet you have all these resources here which you don't make use of. Who are the resources you don't make use of?
Other students. Each other students.
Yeah. So you're basically complaining, I don't know how to meet my need for hunger, and meanwhile you live in a kitchen.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So part of the problem is not realizing you're in a kitchen and that there's food all around you.
I think sometimes when things are right in front of you, you go looking elsewhere.
Well, what?
Really?
I just want to comment on what DVP said, because I wrote about that exact same thing a few weeks ago. It's like I could practice, I could read the ebook 5 times over. I could talk to the bros at the academy, but when I'm, out there in real life at a party trying to talk to some chick, all that stuff that I've learned.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Shut up. All that stuff that you learned. What's wrong with that statement, Travo?
He didn't actually learn it.
Yeah, he didn't learn it. He just heard it on a podcast. He's like, oh, I graduated. I don't need to talk. I don't need to practice talking to any students. I heard it. I heard Plum say it on a podcast. I know it now.
Oh, okay. That would in theory.
And also, I don't find Tim Wills interesting, so I'm pretty sure people outside are not going to be more open to, give him a chance.
Okay, so now it comes back again. We have a delusional view of our own social competence. We have a delusional view of our own social competence. And then, when we go out in the real world and practice, and we get shocking feedback. Oh, you suck. I don't like talking to you. What? I thought I was doing well. Now I'm all sad. Why am I all sad, DBP?
Because you failed and you thought you were competent.
You thought you were competent. You had a delusional view of your social competence. Now you go out and practice. Now you're all sad. Why? Because there was a disparity in your experience and your view. This is why I tell you, you guys are socially retarded. And you're like, yeah, I agree, Professor Plum. But in your head, you think what, BZS?
That we're not that bad.
Yeah, we're not that bad. Come on, Plum. You know what the fuck you're talking about. Watch me work my magic. I already read your ebook, Plum. I know all your secrets. Watch me go out and prove you wrong. And then you go out and have a social interaction. Somebody give me a bad reaction. I'm done. Doesn't work. Principles of social action, bullshit. I'm done for the day. Delusional view of your social competence. I keep telling you practice. You say, no, Plum, I'm on a new program. This is called the I Listen Once to the Podcast and I'm Graduated program.
I get fucked up and I get graduated.
I'm graduated. And then I go out, find out, there's a disparity in what I think I know and how competent I think I am. And the information that I think I've learned in my head. And then my actual experience with other people. Something's wrong. And then you come back to class and go, hey, Plum, something's wrong. Yeah, you know what's wrong? Not listening. Didn't I already tell you? You have a delusional view? Nope, you don't believe it yet. You had to go learn the hard way. Now you're back to square one. You didn't realize you never left square one. You're still in square one. You asshole. You should be practicing social interaction with the students at the academy every fucking time you come here. Just like you guys I like how you guys say that, well, in the real world we have real interactions. Guess what? DBP, you just had a real interaction with Tim Will. And Tim Will had a real interaction with you. That was step 1. What's step 2?
I don't know.
Do it again.
Do it. Whoa. You got it all wrong and Tim Will got it right. What's step 2, Tim Will?
Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again? What's step 2 again?
Do it again.
Why? How do you know that's step 2?
Because we want to keep practicing.
What's step 2? What's step 1 and step 2? They start with the same word. They start with the same letter. T.
Training.
Yeah, training. What's step 3, DBP?
I don't know.
Well, Tim Will's going to tell you. What's step 3, DBP? Tim Will?
Training.
Go back to your other phrase. I like that better.
Practice.
The one before that.
Training.
What's step 3, Travo?
Training.
Yeah, I like his other phrase. What was Tim Will's first phrase? Do it again. What's step 4, Boggles?
Form a relationship.
Wrong. What's step 4, BZS?
Do it again.
What's
Keep doing it.
What's step 5, Travo?
Do it again.
Oh, now you graduate. Now you're competent. Now you can go in the real world. What's step 6, DBP?
Do it again.
Yeah, it's a trick question. You didn't graduate, asshole. You haven't trained. You had fucking 6 conversations. You're done? Oh, Plum, I got all your secrets after 6 conversations. I know what I'm doing. What's step 7?
Do it again.
Tim Will, what's step 8?
Do it again.
Big L, what's step 9?
Do it again. Do it again.
Yes. That's
What's
static.
Was that static?
Yeah, he's
Care
static.
Bear.
Mr. Care Bear. Mute your mic. Major static. Boggles, what's step 10?
Do it again.
BZS, what's step 11?
Do it again.
TVP, what's step 12?
Do it again.
Tim Will, what's step 13?
Do it again.
No, hold on. There's a secret step here. Step 14 is the secret step. Travel, what's step 14?
Do it again, baby.
Do it again, baby. So, can somebody sum up the real problem here? When somebody says, we hang out, I don't know what to do in my social interactions. They're failing. I don't know what I'm doing. What's the problem?
We don't practice.
Yeah, you don't practice.
We don't practice with the other students.
You don't practice with the other students.
There's like no habitual practicing.
Yes.
There's no habitual practicing. I learned something, and for some reason it's not working.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they-
that's how I think.
So they know it in theory, but they have no practical knowledge of it. Like
Yeah.
they haven't used it.
Yes, they haven't used it. They haven't applied it.
Alright.
Oh, I'm hanging out with Travo. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say to Travo, Professor Plum. Do you have any secret techniques? Do you have any
I don't know
secret
what to
tips?
say well, I kind of do. But
I kind of do. I don't know what to say. Anybody know what to say to Travo?
Travel, I love your head. Actually, no, I don't love your head.
I like your smile. I don't know what else to convey the degree on that.
Stuck there. I like your smile. Stuck.
He looks like the Predator. Like he has small beady eyes like the Predator in that movie.
I think
Anybody?
he could be like the
Anybody
future,
have any suggestions for how to have a conversation with Travo?
Well, first of all, I want to know why there are so many trees in your backyard. That's the first thing I noticed. I want to know where you live to have that many trees.
There you go. So right now he's having reactions to Travo. And Travo says,
I live in the wilderness, far away from civilization.
I was not completely brought into his experience.
okay, hold on. Time out. Here we go. Now, did Travo meet Franchise's needs?
Maybe.
Maybe Tim telling him that was a first step. Or maybe it wasn't. Depends on your expectations. You have needs. Yes. Are your expectations based on those needs? Are your expectations based on your needs?
They should be.
They should be. So if your expectation is for Travo to say his name in a conversation, hey Travo, how's it going? Fine. If that's your expectation, what's the problem with your expectation?
It's a bad expectation.
It's a bad dysfunctional expectation. It's not meeting your need. What should your expectation be for Travo? Hold on. Who the fuck is beeping?
Who's making motherfucking stuff in the microwave?
Motherfucker, Mr. Care Bear. God damn it.
It's not me. It's not me.
Not you. Not you. Not you. Who the fuck is making stuff?
I think the other guy.
Who's the other guy?
What other guy?
I'm suspecting Big L, but I don't know.
Any other guy making beeping sounds? Just check. Here's how you can check if you're making beeping sounds. Look around you and see if there's a microwave.
No.
No.
Okay, it's gone now. Oh no, it was Big L.
Yeah.
Big L. What the fuck is going on over there? You making cream of wheat or something? Or macaroni and cheese? Motherfucker, mute your mic.
I don't know if he knows how to do that. Does he know that?
This is why I don't want to hang out with you guys. So much disorder. So much dysfunction. My expectation is to have an orderly social interaction with you guys. If I had this type of social interaction that I have in Google+, I would not look forward to talking to any of you. I still hear a motherfucker rattling.
What is that?
Who is that?
Who you are.
Who's in the kitchen?
Who the fuck is in the kitchen?
Fucking kitchen.
I think that was Big L. He said it was me.
Yeah, Big L, get the fuck out of class or mute your microphone. You're creating a disorderly social interaction.
Wait. Muhammad.
I gotta mute fucking Franchise's mic because it's causing static. So there's you know why I don't tolerate these things? I have such high expectations of my social interactions. I want to get my needs met. I want to get my needs met. Right?
Yes, you do.
So, I have to go around
Right.
and I have to fucking mute mics because I have to get my needs met in this social interaction with you as student and teacher. I have to get my needs met.
And you're meeting our needs at the same time.
You gotta get your needs met. If I'm so distracted I can't give a fucking lecture, obviously you guys aren't gonna get your needs met. We all aren't gonna get our needs met. So we need to start solving the problems.
Yes.
I need to start figuring out who the fuck is playing in the microwave. I need to figure out whose microphone is going crazy and to suggest maybe getting a new microphone or just muting yourself. One or the other. So there has to be, I have to be active in the social interaction. You realize that? If I'm a passive professor, we're going to have all kinds of fucking chaos. So Google Plus is not up to my standard. There are too many distractions. Not just physical distractions, well, mostly physical distractions, but that are causing problems here with our social interaction. It's not meeting my needs. So I'm like, motherfucker, I am on that. I'm going to problem solve. I'm going to figure out whose mic is bad, who's not putting in earphones. I'm going to do what it takes to get my needs met in this social interaction because I don't want to keep interacting this way if it's going to cause problems. Same with you. When you're at the academy, you need to be like, look, I need to have a good time with the students. I need to be encouraged by the students. That should be my expectation. If that expectation is not being met, fuck it, I'll leave the academy. Fuck it, I'll just go practice outside of the academy. No! You need to take an active hand in shaping your relationship with the other students. If Travel was telling you, I live out in the wilderness, that's why I have trees back there. Boggles spoke up and said, what, Boggles?
That didn't meet my need. I was like, okay, wilderness. I don't know. It didn't meet my need. I needed more.
Okay, so you needed more. You needed.
Location.
That was a good start, but you needed more, right?
Yes.
What else do you want out of Travel?
I needed more enthusiasm. I needed I'm blah like this and I was here before, but now.
Well, you know what? You know how you get that need met? The same way when I hear Travel give a shitty answer, like he says, ebook, needs, practice, reward, punish. When he gives a vague answer that I don't like fuck, Travo. I usually ridicule Travo. That's my go-to. Travo kind of gets the point after a while.
Well, I just
But the point is, I punish. Even if it's a dysfunctional punishment, I still punish. Some of you guys frustrate me, I get very sarcastic. Isn't sarcasm a dysfunctional punishment?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but I still do it. I'm going to do something, by hook or crook, right? I'm going to, by some way, by some means, I'm going to shape the social interaction we're having. So if Travel's telling me about the trees, good job, Travel, you told us about the trees. Keep going, man.
Encourage him.
Keep going, Travel. Trees and what?
Right now?
Right now? Right now, guys?
No, last night.
Last night. Now, even Tim Will's getting frustrated with you. Come on, let's go.
I'm getting frustrated.
Get it going, Travel. We want to hear about you. You're out in the
No,
boonies. You're out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Where in the wilderness?
There, see, now he's leading him down a direction. We want to know where you're at.
I live next to a state park. It's really nice because I get to see all the campers come by and I get to wave hi to everyone because I work there over the summer. And
Oh, now he's
really
stimulated us. Now we have something to talk about.
Better. It's nice.
So we can direct Travo to meet our needs. Do you realize that? You can direct Travo to meet your needs, both positively and negatively. Let's say Travo's a super shy guy, right? He's not going to just jump out of his shell. He's not going to just volunteer information. If somebody's a super shy guy, what are you going to have to do first, Tim Will?
You're gonna have to convey some part of yourself to him.
Yes.
In order to give him
You're going to have to
talk.
Yes, you're going to have to start. You can't just go, "What's up, bro? What's up, shy guy?" You think shy guys are just going to start flooding out his thoughts and feelings? No. So that means you need to volunteer. That means you need to initiate. You need to practice sharing your personal reactions. And then if Travo's giving you an answer, even after you practice, you need to start directing traffic. You need to be the traffic cop. You need to say, Travo, not enough to tell me about the trees. I want to hear what you think about the trees. I want to hear what you feel about the trees. Or you need to start asking other questions that'll lead you to meet your needs. Or you need to start making statements to him and say, Travo, do this. Tell me about this. Or tell me about this. Or say it this way. Or do it this way. You need to start directing the traffic to meet your needs.
So clearly we don't have practice leading the conversations to meet our needs.
Yes.
Well, Professor, I have a question about so Travo didn't necessarily meet my expectations to let me know where he lived. Do I punish him because he didn't give me what I was looking for?
Well,
or do I direct his?
You could lead him.
You could lead him.
I direct it.
If he hasn't met your need, what are the possible problems?
Maybe I'm not giving him enough incentive to meet my needs.
So have you given him enough incentive? Does he know what your expectations are?
No, actually, I just asked him why there's so many trees.
Right? Didn't he answer your question?
Technically, yes. I actually would like to know.
Did he answer your question?
What state. Yes, he did.
So if he didn't meet your needs, what was the problem?
Maybe well, I was looking to what state.
If he didn't meet your needs, what was the problem? He answered your question.
Okay.
So if he didn't meet your needs, what was the problem?
Bad question. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, wait. What'd you say, Travo?
Bad question. Franchise had a bad question. It wasn't functional to his expectations. It wasn't.
Yeah, it didn't meet his needs, so he needs to go further. Maybe that was a good starting question, but it didn't meet his needs. Maybe he needs to go further. He needs to lead you and teach you how to meet his needs. He needs to direct traffic. Don't I direct traffic here all the time when I'm talking to you guys in the podcast?
Yes.
Do I just sit back and wait for right answers to magically appear?
Okay.
Don't I punish and reward? Don't I punish and reward when I get answers that I like or don't like?
Yeah.
And when you don't have the answer or you don't know which way you're going, don't I kind of give you hints or tell you which way to go with the answer to how to get there?
Yeah.
Well, now you have a model. If you were paying attention to me, if you pay attention to the podcast and listen to it again, you see, oh, here, look at Plum is directing traffic. Students are giving wrong answers. He's buzzering them. Students are giving right answers. He's patting them on the back. All the students are stumped. Now, Professor Plum starts giving hints. He starts giving them more of a direction of where he wants them to go. And then they give the right answer. Woo! Good job! Woo! Sounds like Professor Plum is directing his classroom in a certain direction, the way he wants it to go. The way that'll meet his needs. And, not coincidentally, the way that'll meet your needs. Because if you give competent answers, and you stop giving Travo answers... Hold on a second, this mic is driving me crazy.
I don't think it's franchise.
It isn't? Wait. Nope. Franchise? Nope, it is. Franchise, when you're not talking, you gotta mute your mic, because it'll drive me crazy. So, you can't give Travo answers, you have to give Boggles answers or Tim Will answers. Eventually, Travo will be giving Boggles answers and Tim Will answers. He'll be giving thorough answers, because every time Travo gives me an answer like, I want to say a T-I-O-N word. Function. Expectation. Right? Every time he gives me these one-word answers, like, no, I don't want that. I want you to give me a thorough answer. So then when Travo gives me a thorough answer, it makes me happy. I reward Travo. I'm directing traffic here. I'm shaping my social interaction with Travo. I don't want him to give me bullshit answers. I want him to give me competent answers. Answers that benefit him and the class. If Travo can give me the right answer, a thorough, specific answer, he has learned social interaction. He's benefiting from that. So when I'm getting my needs met for the class, he's getting his needs met. That means it's mutual. So if Bogler isn't getting his needs met, if Bogler isn't getting his needs met, that also means what? Eventually, about the other person.
They're not getting their needs met.
Yeah, they're not happy either. You will not have a functional relationship if only one person is happy in the relationship. Both people must benefit from the relationship for it to be functional, which means both people must be satisfied by that relationship. You will never have a relationship that's functional, that'll last, where Franchise is happy and Boggles is miserable. Will not work. Do we have a relationship with our government?
Yes, of course.
Are there a lot of rich people in the United States?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
Oh, no, very few.
Yes, very few. Compared to, are there a lot of poor people in the United States?
Yeah.
Lots.
Yes, there are. Would you say the poor people outnumber the rich people?
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Are the poor people happy?
No.
No.
No, they're
Some of
miserable. Are the rich people happy?
Some of them.
No.
No. No.
Well, they're having a good time. I would say the rich people are, this is hard to answer this strictly speaking. In a sense, they're happier than the poor people. They have more stuff.
Except Hollywood people.
It's not the point. I'm trying to make a point here. So in a sense, they're happier. They have more money to get their bellies fed every day, whereas the poor people don't. Do we have a functional relationship with our government?
No.
No.
How do you know? BZS?
Everyone's not happy.
BZS!
Because, I mean, there's all these laws that kind of prevent you from doing a lot. Actually, I don't know how to answer that.
Just give me a general. Don't give me the political answer. Just give me a general answer.
I would say that because there are poor people and there's very rich people, so there's kind of like an imbalance there.
You're getting close there. That's right. We're on the right track here. Travo?
I would say
Boggles?
the government is not meeting everyone's needs.
Yeah, government's not meeting everybody's needs. So we have a few people that are happy, sorta, and a lot of people that are not. So there's a poor governing structure. The government is not directing traffic in a competent way. So what happens to that relationship eventually?
It's going to die out.
What are signs of it being a dysfunctional relationship? What do we see in the news lately?
The divorce rates
going down. Divorce rates, everything. Everything's just eroding completely.
The economy is going down the shitter.
Economy going down the shitter.
Yeah. Bridges are collapsing.
Bridges collapsing. Infrastructure.
But it seems like
more taxes, less funding for schools.
Anybody heard of Occupy Wall Street?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Anybody hear of any Occupy movements around the world?
Yes, there's a few in some of the Middle Eastern countries. Yeah.
Are these people happy people?
No.
So what are they letting the governments know then about their relationship?
Their needs aren't being met.
Yeah, their needs aren't being met. So what are they telling them about the relationship?
It's a bad relationship.
They had expectations.
Bad relationship, bad expectations, dysfunctional relationship.
Yes.
Okay, so how does that relate to us?
If one person isn't happy, the other person isn't going to be happy either.
Yeah, if one person,
it's just the government, it's just a larger scale version of that, more relationship.
Let's say you're in a relationship with Big L, and every time Big L shows up, you say, "Hey, motherfucker, give me your milk money." And Big L forks over his dollar to you, and every day you get $1, and you get to spend it on whatever you want. You're happy, and Big L's sad because he loses $1 every day. Is your relationship functional or dysfunctional?
Dysfunctional.
How do you know? You're happy. You're getting $1 every day.
Because one person isn't getting their needs met.
Yeah. What's going to happen later on down the road to DBP?
The moment
actually, Big L's going to snap and blow my head off.
Yeah. One day Big L's not going to come with milk money. He's going to come with a 45. And then we'll realize, what we thought was a good relationship was really a bad relationship because both people weren't getting their needs met. Only one person was happy. DBP. Big L, not so happy. Big L represents Occupy Wall Street. A lot of people not happy. Just a few people happy. So we have a dysfunctional relationship. So if a relationship is functional, everybody's needs are getting met. So if you're in a relationship with another student and the other student's not happy, there's a problem. Somebody is not directing traffic well. You are here to practice directing traffic. So if Travo says to me one day, or a franchise says to me one day, whose fucking TV is on? I will smash my head through the screen. God damn it.
Is that a phone going off too?
I don't know what it is. But if you're near a microphone and you have phones or distractions, mute your fucking microphone. Holy Christ.
It's not me.
Oh. Oh. Okay. If Travo or franchise comes to Tim Will and says, hey, Tim Will, I'm out in the real world and I don't know what to say to guys. I hang out with them. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say to guys. What is Tim Will going to say to them? What's some practical advice Tim Will is going to give them? Tim Will, what are you going to do?
Well, now that give them a couple of examples of how to start a conversation with people. Give them a couple of ideas.
No, first you're going to take them and slap them upside their head. That's step number one. Hey, guys, I don't know how to have a relationship with people. It's just not working out. I'm just going to give up. First, you're going to slap them upside their head, and then what are you going to do, Tim Will? What are you going to say after that? Or after your hand stops talking, then what are you going to do with your mouth?
Tell them to wake up.
And what?
I don't know.
DVP, what are you going to tell them?
You're going to tell them to practice, to talk with students at the academy or something. You're going to tell them what to do.
You're going to tell them, or you're going to ask them, how are your relationships with the other students at the academy? And they're going to answer.
That's
Pretty
good.
bad.
Pretty
Or
bad.
They'll lie. And they'll say pretty good.
And if they're going to lie to you and say pretty good, then you're going to tell them, hey, you're not having a problem outside the academy then. Problem solved. And then they're going to go, no, I am having problems outside of the academy. Then you're going to tell them, stop lying to me. Your relationships with the other students suck. If you have problems outside the academy, you have problems inside the academy. Where
We're
can
like
you...
the opposite of Las Vegas. What happens at Manhood Academy goes outside Manhood Academy.
Yes. What happens in Manhood Academy happens outside of Manhood Academy.
Transfers outside the academy.
Let me ask VZS a trick question. Where should you practice your social interactions?
Everywhere. I mean, are you talking about within the academy? Or
Boggles, let me ask you a trick question. Actually, Boggles, you probably know this answer. Let me ask Big L a trick question. Big L,
all right, I'm all ears.
where should you practice your social interactions?
At Manhood Academy.
Ah, look at this. This guy's brilliant. I thought you guys said he was retarded. He knows the answer. Travo.
That's why your fellow students are here in the first place.
Yes, that's why your fellow students are here in the first place. Travo, let me ask you another trick question. Travo, are you ready?
Go for it.
Where should you practice your social interactions?
Here at the beautiful academy with all the other students.
Yes. BZS, now I'm going to ask you another trick question. This is going to be a little bit harder, though.
All right.
Where should you practice your social interactions?
At Manhood Academy.
Excellent. Now, Tim Will, if any asshole comes up to you and says, hey man, I was outside the academy. I just didn't know what to say to this guy to form the relationship, and it's just not working out, man. The ebook's wrong. I don't know. Something's wrong here. What are you going to ask them first?
How are your relationships with the other students at Manhood Academy?
And they're going to say, well, I don't really know anybody. And then you're going to do what?
Then you're failing. Learn.
No, first you're going to take your hand and do what with your hand?
Slap them.
You're going to slap them upside their head, and then you're going to tell them what?
You learn social interaction at Manhood Academy.
At Manhood Academy by doing what?
Initiating a conversation with another student.
Yes. If your relationships with the other students are terrible, you're going to have shitty relationships outside of the academy. Big shocker, huh? I don't know what to say to a girl. I don't know if I'm ready. Boggles, Somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I'm trying to pick up supermodels at this bar in Hollywood. It just wasn't working out, man. What are you going to tell them?
Hey, so how are your relationships with the other students at this academy?
I don't know any of them really. I know Travel's name, and I've heard Franchise attends the academy, but that's about it.
How are your relationships with other students at your
First of all, you're going to tell Big L to shut the fuck up.
Well, I would, but then he would do plum rules. I didn't do it.
Okay, good. Okay, so now that Big L has shut the fuck up, what was the answer again, Boggles?
Yeah, I would.
Hey man, I don't know how to pick up these supermodels. They're not getting wet. They're not coming home with me. Something's the matter, man.
I would actually be irritated because that's so stupid. Like he should be having. I asked him how your relationship with other students. And then
well, I know Travel's name, and I've heard of DBP on the forum. I've seen one of his posts, but I think that's about it.
How stupid that sounds. Like you can't even make friends with guys who are like gonna be much. You have an academy. You say you don't know anybody, and then you say I want to go. I want to go and like hit on this hot stranger that you don't even know. It sounds highly delusional, and you should work on forming relationships at a place that is conducive to forming that in the first. You should forming that first, and then
you're very confusing, sir. Could you speak in a complete, coherent sentence and not rush through this?
Boggle shaved. I just noticed that. Sorry. Go ahead.
I would be annoyed at that person and ask them, hey, I'll tell them you should form relationships. You don't even have relationships at the academy where forming relationships is encouraged, and you want to magically go form a relationship with some hot bitch where it's not conducive to forming a relationship. It seems you're clearly very delusional. So how about you fix that and go form some relationships at the academy first?
Yes, you need to practice at the academy where we are dedicated to practicing. I was so looking forward to covering expression posts today. But there's no point in expressing yourself if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I'm so dying to work on expression because part of conveying yourself is learning how to express yourself to the other person. We have 30 minutes to learn this huge topic.
Yes.
Let's concentrate. Let's go. Okay. So, what do you require when somebody is reading? Travo?
Their attention.
When somebody's reading a paragraph to you, another student is reading a paragraph to you, what do you require, Travo?
I don't know.
Big L. When somebody's reading a paragraph in the class, for the class, what do you require of them when they're reading?
They require voice inflection.
Voice inflection. Why?
So that the reader will be sucked into the experience.
Not the reader. Tim Will, what do we require from somebody reading a passage?
Voice expression, emotion.
Voice expression?
Inflection,
Emotion?
some sort of person behind behind the voice.
Right. Are you going to show us how to do that?
I will do my best.
I don't want your best. Are you going to do it or not do it?
Yes, I will do it.
All right. Prove it. Here we go.
Recently, I haven't been confident in myself because I don't believe that I've acquired enough training socially to go up and talk to random women. My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
Stop right there. Travo,
Yes.
is that meeting your reading expectations?
No.
Why not?
It didn't really convey him when he was reading it.
Okay, didn't convey him. I also had a problem with it. Articulation. Like, the words, he's not pronouncing them correctly because he hasn't practiced that. Basic English. You need to work on conveying yourself, your basic English. You need to work on your pronunciation so I can understand you. DBP.
I didn't like his, I didn't even realize this when you guys pointed it out, but I realized I didn't like, his English at all, and I think he has his own cadence, like Paperclip does. It's just harder to notice.
Okay, so unless we're directing traffic, he's not going to improve. We need to direct traffic, because eventually, we want him to meet the standard of our social interaction, so we're going to enjoy hanging out with him. So there needs to be work on your articulation. So for instance, let's see, go ahead and read this first sentence.
Okay.
No, I'm talking to Tim Will. Go ahead and read the first sentence.
Okay. Recently, I haven't been confident in
Okay,
myself because...
hold on, stop. Let's read the first 5 words. Go ahead, read the first 5 words.
Recently, I haven't been confident.
Okay, I want you to repeat after me, okay? Recently, I haven't been confident. Yes, see, there's articulation. That means people can understand the words you're saying. So when you articulate, you practice articulating, you're clearer. So other people don't have to struggle to understand what words you're saying. Now, in the, like, for instance, black culture, people, when they say ask you a question, they say ax. I'm going to ask you a question, right?
That's more like an East Coast thing.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, but certain regions have certain, dialects and whatever, and their articulation is different, right? But it's harder for everybody to understand because there's a uniform sound. At least we will have a bare minimum requirement. So we don't expect you to change your entire accent like Boggles. He still sounds very Indian, but his articulation is a little clearer, or we can understand it because he is doing something to make us understand that word. So one of the things I can add to that is when you interject your person. Like Boggles' accent is very thick, but when he interjects his person, it makes us forget about his accent. So if you don't interject your person into your reading, I'm going to focus on your accent. It's going to become a distraction. So you either need to articulate better, like I just demonstrated with you, or you need to start injecting your person, which will help me concentrate more since I can't understand some of the words you're saying. Well, I can read along with you, but again, like with Boggles, he has that Indian accent, which is like this, and then he says certain word. It's difficult to hear the word, but because Boggles is so animated, has his person in there, he has his personal feeling and reaction to the sentence he's reading, it is easier to follow. Yes? Yes, Tim Will?
I guess.
You guess so.
Yeah, and also, like, when I see Tim Will's body posture, like, it doesn't seem like, this is the guy I want to listen to. It's not like, enthusiastic. Like, DVP is smiling. It's like, I'm almost like, I'm ready to listen to
Well,
DVP.
Tim Will doesn't have a reason to smile. You need to give Tim Will a reason to smile. This is your problem. No,
it is my problem.
no guiding, and no giving incentive. The same with you. If I let you keep fucking up the class and keep fucking up all your relationships and didn't create the plum roll, you would be violating my expectations. You would be the annoying guy to me. Just like Tim Will's the annoying guy to you. Every one of you is somewhat annoying in a way to the other person. That's why you have to work with the other person by practicing speaking with them and adjusting them, rewarding them accordingly and punishing them accordingly, making sure they're meeting your expectations. Right? If Tim Will's not meeting my expectations for reading, I'm not encouraged to have him read. Travo.
Yeah.
Start at my most recent situation.
My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
How was that? Hold on. Tim Will, how was that?
Sounds like he was just
Why don't you tell him? Don't tell me, just tell him.
Traveler, there wasn't a lot of emotion in it. Although I did like when you said AKA. It kind of woke me up. But for the most part, I was ready to go to sleep.
Okay, now you're going to tell him, you're going to demonstrate how to do it the right way.
Okay. My most recent
No,
situation...
tell Travel, you're going to demonstrate how to do it the right way.
I'm going to demonstrate to you, Travel, how to do it right. Here goes. My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
Travel, what'd you think?
It sounded about the same as mine.
Why don't you tell him?
Wait, what? I didn't hear that.
It sounded about the same as mine, Tim Will.
Okay, now tell him,
Sounds about right.
tell him how to, you're gonna demonstrate how to do it the right way.
Okay, Tim Will. Okay, Tim Will, this is how you do it. Watch me. Watch and learn. My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
Okay, now you're going to need to direct Tim Will to read it the right way.
Okay, Tim Will, read it like I read it, kind of.
Kinda? Read it kinda like you read it? That's not very good direction. That's not very good direction. I want to hear good direction. Say it again.
Read it just like I read it, Tim Will.
My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
Travo, you're in charge. Hello.
That was a little better. But I don't think it wasn't perfect.
What's the problem with it wasn't perfect? What's the problem with it?
What was it?
Yes. So, Tim Will, why don't you say, hey, Travo.
Hey, Travo.
You asshole.
What was it?
Say, hey, Travo.
Hey, Travo.
You asshole.
You asshole.
Why don't you be more specific?
Why don't you be more specific?
And tell me what it is.
And tell me what it is.
Travo, you have to direct my behavior.
Travo, you have to direct my behavior.
You can't just tell me it wasn't good enough.
You can't just tell me it wasn't good enough.
You have to.
You have to tell me exactly how to do it.
And then Travo says,
I don't know how to convey to you how to say it.
well, then we're going to have to switch over to Boggles. Boggles will be more specific. Boggles is going to demonstrate for Tim Will how to do it in a more specific way. And then Travo is going to be listening because Travo is going to learn from Boggles and how to be more specific in his giving of directions.
Alright, Tim Will.
Yes, Boggles?
Alright, first of all, sit more upright.
So more what?
Sit more upright.
Right. What the fuck?
Sit more upright? What was that all about?
This is great. This is what I'm saying.
And keep that smile great. Now, go to where you have to read. Look, where's the first sentence you have to read?
My most recent situation, Boggles.
It's the
Okay,
second.
He has to read it, right?
Yeah, second
let him
sentence.
read it, and if he makes a mistake, I'm going to correct him after that. Alright, start reading, Tim Will.
My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
What do you think of that? Do you get into that? Like, does that do anything to you, the sentence?
The truth?
Yeah, of course.
No.
Oh, wait, does any sentence in here do anything to you?
Wait a second. Are you asking him what he's getting into, or are you trying to direct him?
Well, I want him to read the sentence that he gets into and then say, hey, try to do this for the other stuff.
Why don't you just direct him now?
Okay?
Why the fuck, motherfucker?
I'm trying to think, like...
DVP,
The hell's up with
why
the
don't
dog?
you teach Boggles how to direct Big L's
I don't
or
know
Tim
how-
Will's behavior?
Big L?
Well,
Sorry, Tim Will. Go ahead. DVP's going to direct you. Boggles, you've been fired. DVP, you've been promoted to director. Hit it.
Okay. Tim Will, listen to how I read the sentence. My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus recreation center, aka the gym. Now read it just like that.
My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
Okay. First of all, it's not woman, it's women. That's number one thing that's wrong, and not number one thing, but read it again. Read it again.
My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago.
Okay, here's what you need to do. You need to stop him when he's making the error. So if he's saying woman, right? My most recent situation with women, you should say stop. You should interrupt and say stop right there. Tell him to stop right there.
All right, stop right there.
Okay. When you're saying woman, you're saying it this way. Woman. You need to
Woman.
say women. And then
You're saying it's singular like woman. It should be
say
women.
women. Okay, now let me hear you say it. Tell me you want to hear him say it.
Say
Woman.
yeah. No, say it again. That was wrong.
Woman.
Okay, now repeat
Women.
for him.
No,
Say it like
not
this.
woman.
Say
Women.
stop. Say stop and listen. Tell him to
Okay.
stop and listen.
Stop and listen.
You need to be authoritative. You need to take charge of the conversation. You're leading him. These aren't suggestions. You're directing his behavior. You're the puppet master. Tim Will, stop and listen to me. Say
Tim-
women.
Tim Will, stop and listen to me. Say women.
Women.
There we go. That's right.
Just
Okay,
like that.
now-
See?
now
Now,
read
there
it.
you go. Go ahead. Now direct his behavior.
All right, now read the sentence again and make that correction.
My most recent situation when trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
Okay, one thing I just noticed now is that every 2 or 3 words, you have a slight split-second pause. That's what I mean when I say you have a cadence. So, I'm going to read it to you again. Just read it exactly like I read it. My most recent, say that right after I say it.
My most recent
situation with trying to approach women
was
a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center. AKA the gym.
Can I try?
I don't know. It's DB. I'm asking DVP. DVP's in charge of leading it. How was it, DVP? Did it meet your expectation?
Until AKA the gym.
Well,
I was thinking, yeah.
Okay, so you're thinking you're not clear yet on your. The problem is you're not clear yet on your expectation. You need to get clear with your expectation. All right.
Yeah.
Now go back to. Let's go back to Boggles. Are you ready, Boggles?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Tim.
Yes, Boggles.
Okay. I know you're not happy, but try to at least while reading the line, while reading the situation, try to read it with a little more enthusiasm. Okay? I'll show you. My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school's campus recreation center, aka the gym. So, try reading and let me see if you can read it with a little more enthusiasm.
That was enthusiastic at all, Boggles.
I know, that's pretty fine, but you read it enthusiastic. Let's go.
My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
Okay, I thought it was better, but it was much better from where you started. It'll take time to get you to the enthusiasm level that I would like.
Well, let's get there.
How would you do it, Boggles?
Well, I mean, I don't know, I don't think you're very happy, so you're like this. I want you to, you're like, hey, I'm in the classroom. Basically, well, let's try one more time.
How would you say it,
Yeah,
Boggles?
you're giving him very general, non-specific directions. He's not happy. Yeah, this isn't a happiness exercise. He just has to read it the way you want him to read it.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be hard for him to read my most recent situation.
Well, then maybe it's his voice tone, right? You're talking about happiness when you're specifically stating voice tone.
I can see it in his face, he just wants to get it done with. And I don't want
Good
to
for
get
him. You're directing traffic. Watch. I'm going to direct him, and I'm going to get him to say it.
How would you do it,
I'm going to teach him how to say it in a happy way, even though he's not happy.
Okay.
Okay. DVP, you're not happy. I don't care. You're just going to read it the way I want you to read it, because I'm directing your behavior.
Well, make Tim Mills do it.
Shut up, Boggles. You screwed up already. I'm teaching you how to do it the right way. See how I cut Boggles off? Boggles is fucking up. I'm directing traffic. I tell Boggles, shut the fuck up. You're violating my expectation. Now, I'm going to tell you how to do it the right way. Tim Will, you're not happy. I don't care. I'm going to teach you how to read this sentence in a happy way to show Boggles how the fuck to lead a conversation. Are you ready, Tim Will?
I'm ready.
Okay. I am in charge now. I am being direct. I am telling him what to do specifically. Okay. Maybe him reading it super enthusiastically isn't my expectation. It's Boggles' expectation. But I'm going to demonstrate how to meet Boggles' expectation, even though it isn't my expectation. All right. Tim Will, repeat what I say, okay? Exactly the way I say it. Here we go. Let me see if my screen clears up. Let me go to this one right here. Okay. My most recent situation. No. Listen to my voice tone. My most recent situation.
My most recent situation.
No. My most. Yes. Recent situation. Recent situation. Emphasis on Asian.
Recent situation.
Yes. My most recent situation. With trying to approach women. Was a few days ago. Was a few days ago. When I was at my school's campus recreation center.
When I was at my school campus's recreation center.
No, this is a monster truck rally. A few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center. Yes. All right. Here we go. We're on the home stretch now. AKA the gym. There you go. Happy tone. He may not be happy inside, but I'm getting my expectation met. You're practicing leading a social interaction. The reason why everybody isn't happy right now, it's the same reason why nobody's happy in the Marines while you're doing push-ups. You're in the middle of building muscles. You're miserable. It's tough. It's the same reason why Charlie Brown is sad trying to fly a kite. He doesn't know how to fly a kite. He's practicing.
Nobody's teaching him.
Nobody's teaching him. Nobody's directing him. Everybody's just saying, be happy. Read it happy.
Like Charlie Brown.
Read it happy.
Surrounded by fucking hippies, that's why.
All right, now the test. We're going to have Instructor Travo direct Tim Will to read this the right way. You ready, Tim? Are you ready, Travo?
I'm ready.
Hit it.
Okay, Tim Will, I'm gonna read this sentence, and you're gonna read it just like I did. Okay, here we go. My most recent situation with trying to approach women was a few days ago when I was at my school campus's recreation center, aka the gym.
Okay, what's Travo's mistake here, Tim Will?
Well, I don't see a whole lot of emotion or...
No. What's Travo's mistake here, Boggles?
He didn't give Tim Will specific direction before he started reading, like say, hey, watch this part of my, how I say this.
Well, he already knows from listening to us that if he just reads the whole sentence, Tim Will's going to read it the wrong way. So what didn't he learn? He didn't learn how to get more...
I didn't pick up either that we should break it up into small parts.
So that means you need to be what? You need to be more specific.
Specific, okay.
Just like when you're expressing yourself, you need to get to a specific degree of your expression. This is all related. This problem is all related.
Okay, see, even
when you guys say, I'm happy, what are you happy about? Why are you happy? What does it feel like to be happy? What are your thoughts about being happy? You guys are so general and lazy in your expression, it carries over into everything you do. When you give directions, take me to Los Angeles. How the fuck do I get there? I've never been to Los Angeles. Well, just go north.
Go on the freeway.
Go on the freeway. Go north. You'll get there.
We don't have practice giving specific...
Yeah, you don't have fucking practice. What do you think we're doing right now?
Well, other than practicing it right now, yes.
other than practicing it right now, yes. Motherfucker.
Alright, see, people don't know. Travo, I guess you continue with your instruction to Tim Will.
Alright.
Let's not continue. Let's move on. I'm exhausted.
So am I.
Tim Will didn't enjoy the instruction.
Well, you need to practice making it enjoyable. And also, Tim Will is not having fun because he's training right now. Training is monotonous. It takes practice. As you get better at it, it's like
riding a bike?
Actually, it might be riding a bike. What happens when you first ride a bike and you don't know how to ride a bike, Tim Will?
You fall.
You fall. How fun is it to fall down?
Not fun at all.
Not fun at all. Your knee hurts. Your bloody skinned arm is on the ground. You're crying.
So Tim Will is not going to have fun meeting my expectations of how to pronounce things.
He's not going to have fun training is the point.
Well, how much fun do you have in class? Aren't I a social guy, Boggles?
Yes, you are.
How much fun do you have in class right now?
I think it's pretty fun. Like, I'm learning stuff.
No.
Is it tough for you? DVP, having a lot of fun right now?
No.
Well, DVP, then you wouldn't be at class.
That's like saying, I work out, it sucks, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to work out.
BZS, having fun right now?
No, not really.
Why?
Well, I feel like I haven't really participated. I've just kind of been sitting back.
Oh yeah, he hasn't.
Ready to jump in?
Not really getting involved yet.
Ready to jump in and get involved? Ready to voice? Why have you not been having fun? You just said you were sitting back, right? What could you have done to change your classroom experience?
Participated some more, maybe chimed in.
Maybe raise your hand, say, hey, professor, I want to participate. Taking an active hand in your social interaction. Become active in class. You will improve your experience in class.
Okay.
It's not okay. It's what?
Yes.
It's what?
Yes, I'll practice. Yes,
No, B's yes. It's what?
Yeah, call me. I don't know. I'm ready to go next. If you call on me, I don't know what else to really say.
You're ready to go next for what?
whatever you have planned next.
You're like, hey, professor, I want to practice leading boggles in reading.
Okay.
Not okay.
Yeah, Professor, I'm ready. Yes, Professor, I'm ready. I'm ready to lead boggles in.
Okay, so you're ready to practice initiating a social interaction with a professor. Amazing. Now you could practice in real life initiating and leading. Now you've not only just initiated a social interaction with Professor Plum, now you're going to practice actually leading Boggler in a social interaction. So Boggles is going to now skip over to, let's go to the second paragraph. What is this chick doing? She's got her mouth wide open in a gym. I don't know what's going on here.
What a big gym.
What's going on? Okay, there you go.
So now here's
Whoa, I'm distracted now. Okay, keep going.
Did I wait for instruction from you?
I think BZS is in charge, but I can't tell.
Oh, fuck. I'm on day 6.
Can you guys?
Well, what'd you say? Oh fuck for?
I'm on day 6 of the challenge.
This is why it's not considerate for other students to be posting these types of pics. So I'm gonna be considerate. Are you tempted by that one though, Big L? Can I leave that one?
Okay, no.
No, I mean, Timwell, are you tempted by that one? Can I leave this one?
I'm not tempted at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave this one here. I actually like that one. But since
So you can edit anyone's post.
Since Franchise was trying to tempt you into screwing up. Oh, look at this picture up top here. This is amazing.
Are you getting tempted by that?
Are you getting tempted by that one?
No, I'm not.
All right, so let's remove some temptation out of here.
No?
Because students are inconsiderate. I don't like when students post pictures like this because it tempts people to break the no-fap challenge.
Yes.
I thought you didn't like no fap challenge, Plum.
What's that?
I thought you were when the challenge was first posted. You said on one of the podcasts you were considering getting rid of it. What changed your mind?
I don't remember. Maybe in its early inception, I wasn't sure what it was going to become. But it was a very enlightening thread. A lot of good things happened in that thread, I think.
Okay.
Okay, hit it. What the fuck?
All right.
Did I get rid of the wrong one? I got rid of the.
I think you got rid of the little girl.
Yeah, I got rid of the chick. She was distracting too. Got to get rid of all of them. All right.
Make an edit, yeah, her mouth was kind of wide open.
Yeah, her mouth was wide open. Travel was thinking things.
Oh, God, no.
I think it's this one, right? Is that the right one?
She might grow into a hot bitch. So.
Yeah, you never know how hot she would become. All right. I think we might have gotten rid of all the pictures. Franchise is going to be like, where's all my pictures?
Only the dudes are.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
That one's not going to distract you, is it? Oh, this guy got taken out. Oh. He's done. Oh. This guy's just getting destroyed. Okay, I got too distracted. Let's go. We're on now. Now here's the part.
All right, Boggles, I'm going to read this sentence, that first sentence, and then you just repeat after me, okay?
Which paragraph? The
second paragraph.
Second paragraph, okay.
Where it starts with now, so.
Okay.
Now here's the part with enough training to go up to one of these hot-bodied women and just start talking to them.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and repeat that sentence.
Okay. Now here's the part where I felt like I lacked enough training to go up to one of these hot-bodied women and just start talking to them.
All right, so I noticed that you paused after between these and hot, so try.
Okay.
So, what should he do? BZS, we got lag?
A little bit.
We can get pretty bad lag.
Uh-oh. If we get any more lag, we're going to have to stop. Okay, so what should he do?
So he should. I'll try reading it once again, and then.
Well, you said you noticed he did this, but you didn't say anything about it. You didn't say whether it was good or bad. I don't know if it was good or bad. All you says, I noticed you did this.
Okay. So I noticed that you paused towards the end of that sentence, and it was distracting because I wasn't able to really follow with what you were saying.
Okay.
All right, so we'll try it again. So now here's the part where I felt like I lacked enough training to go up to one of these. I'll just start talking to them.
Okay.
All right, try it one more time.
Now here's the part where I felt like I lacked enough training to go up to one of these hot-bodied women and just start talking to them.
Perfect.
All right, you're a good teacher.
You're an excellent teacher. Let me make a suggestion. Be more specific. For instance, if he's reading a whole sentence and you can't pick out where the error is, just start repeating sections of it. So again, becoming more specific in your teaching, becoming more specific in your expression, becoming more specific with your expectations, becoming more specific with your standard. It's not just enough for people to just say hi to you, just to greet you in a conversation, or just to start talking to somebody. You have to talk about something. Well, what should you talk about? That requires you to become more specific. Timo, what have you learned today?
I learned that if people are not direct and specific, then they can't then there is no direction and no one can get their needs met.
Let me tell you what I'm impressed by, Tim. When you first came to class, you were one of these assholes that gave me very non-specific answers, and even answers that didn't make sense. It was just kind of like they sounded right. It sounded like me when I was in high school turning in essays for the teacher, and I kind of knew how to bullshit an essay, and I just kind of, make some fluff statements, some fluff paragraphs, and you can't really say that they're wrong because they're so general, but they don't give you any specific direction. They don't give you any specific answer. They don't really answer the question. But now when I ask you a question, you give me a very specific answer, and sometimes I notice you catch yourself. And you're like, you say something, and you're like, oh wait, last time that wasn't an appropriate answer, professor didn't like it, and you switch it, and you make it more specific, or you make it the correct answer. See, I can see the change in your social interaction by the way I've been directing you. I see that you are now giving more competent answers, you're giving more thoughtful answers, and you're giving more thorough answers.
Even if it's wrong?
Well, the thing is, you're giving me much better answers. They're the right answers. You've given me answers where, I initially asked for something like, what does it mean, what is a competent social interaction? Instead of saying, getting your needs met. Or maybe it just calls for a simple answer, getting your needs met. Instead of just giving me an elaborate bullshit answer, you'll get straight to the point. Or you'll get more specific with the answer. Whereas before, when you first joined the class, it was exactly the answer I didn't want to hear. So you've learned how to give a more competent answer just by the way I've been directing you. I don't know if you realize that, but I realize that because I'm paying attention to you.
No, I didn't realize that.
Well, if you listen to podcasts where you've been in podcasts in the beginning, you will notice this if you pay attention. You will notice your growth, your progression from your early podcast to now. You are giving more specific, more competent answers. What did you learn today, Travo?
I learned that training is not going to be fun. It's frustrating, and I shouldn't expect it to be fun.
When will it be fun?
When I've trained enough and I start actually doing it right.
Yes. It's like when you play tennis. You hit it the first time, ball goes over the wall. You got to go chase it. What the fuck? Hit it the second time, goes over the wall again. You have to adjust your swing. Hit it a third time, finally goes over the net, but too far. Doesn't hit inside the court. This game sucks. After 700 times, you can finally hit it back and forth consistently. Now, what's happening? You're having fun. Because you could do it right. You've trained to do it well. Yep. Was it fun learning how to write the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G when you were in first grade?
I don't remember, but probably not.
Probably not. Probably felt like homework. Probably felt like a chore. But now that you could write, aren't you happy that you could actually type and write a sentence out and you could communicate with somebody?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a necessary thing. You don't look at it as a chore now. You're like, I have to write an email or I have to talk to a friend and I want to convey how I'm feeling and thinking. It's a good thing I can write now.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
I have a skill, in other words. Wouldn't you say you have a skill?
Yeah.
DBP, what'd you learn?
I also learned that training sucks. I always knew this, but I never really considered what we do here, training. So this was nice to see that,
No wonder why you weren't talking with other students. You thought you were just going to have a magical time just talking to them for the first time.
Yeah, this was training. And I also, I didn't realize when you said that, you've always said, how are your relationships with students at the academy? Every time somebody has a problem outside the academy with interactions, you always ask, how are your relationships with the students? And I never understood that, what you meant by that until now. It was very, very thorough. And how if we can't even train with guys here, guys who have our interests at heart, who have the same goal that we do, how the hell are we going to do it with somebody who doesn't have the knowledge of the ebook? I mean, that was the most important lesson for me.
Wow, I was stimulated by your answer. I'm ready to clap. BZS, what'd you learn?
The biggest thing that I took away from classes is just to keep doing things the whole step 2, step 3, just do it again, and just the importance of being consistent and
repetition
just keeping
builds
at it.
consistency.
Repetition, practice.
Yes. I learned that I hate Google Plus and all the lag it creates. Big L, what'd you learn?
Oh, like, I pretty much agree with DBP, and I've actually experienced the repetition part, like, firsthand.
You mean you agree with BZS?
Yeah. Like, either when it comes to, like, let's say, like, learning, like, a different set of alphabets, for example, or just, like, learning a new skill altogether. It requires some repetition. And this also goes as far as initiating with your fellow students.
Requires some repetition. You need to listen to this podcast again, because they have criticisms about socializing with you. So you need to address these criticisms. And I'm sure the other students will be practicing socializing with you, so they need to address the fact that they are deficient in leading you in their social interactions. Just like everybody here is deficient. Yes, so you'll need to go back and listen to the podcast. Actually, most students should probably go back and listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Boggles, what'd you learn?
I learned how much we could be using the resources of the academy. We could be getting more.
Who are the resources?
Yeah, we could be getting so much more specific with our expectations, like leading. Like
Who are the resources?
The students. I thought it's obvious.
It wasn't obvious.
Okay.
If it was obvious, people would know what they were doing here.
Well, and that's why it's boggling my mind as to why we don't use such important resources, including myself.
Because you don't like to talk to the other students, Boggles.
Yeah, it's hard. It's work training, and then I realize again it's my fault. It's easier to blame others, like, oh, they're not competent. The reason they're not there is because I can't get them there.
You're not directing them.
It's frustrating, but then I see you can do so much by just leading and being specific with your instruction, like what you want, expect of somebody, and I'm not doing that. And I'm like, I think I'll try. I think I'm learning, but again, I'm worried. Fuck. Right now, it seems like I might be able to try doing that. Let's see.
Boggles, the first thing you should do is try talking to high school. Because I know you hate that guy, so you have to mend the relationship.
Well, without my punishing ability, I want to put Big L High School on like a side project, and just like
side project. No. So he basically wants to fail the academy, is what he's telling you. Okay, thank you, Boggles. Guys, it's a long road ahead. Training does not happen overnight. I know some of you were thinking this was mystery method and you would learn it in a weekend, but it is not. There is some grunt work involved, as you can see right now. I did not become the way I am in one day. I'm not able to lead you just by talking to Travo one day or in one class. I have experience. I have practice doing this. This is why I could talk to you this way. I could lead you. I can govern your behavior. I have practice doing this with many people. It is not just this one class or this one instance. It's like Michael Jordan. You see Michael Jordan play basketball? It looks easy when he plays. Why? Because he has hours and hours and hours and years and years and years and decades in the gym practicing. And you just say,
because he failed consistently.
Yes. He makes those failure Nike commercials. Yes. Yes.
I have a question for you about Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You use him as an example a lot.
Yes.
For training him failure and repetition.
Right.
You say that he's a prime example of wasted potential. What do you mean by that?
I don't know what context you're using that under. I don't know where I said that.
I think I can answer that.
You're saying you could. I know you're trying to say he could have spent all this time, but he could use his discipline for other skills, functional skills, instead of just a sport.
Oh yeah. I think I was referring to just playing basketball. It's just like saying you could be really great at building remote control airplanes, but if that's all you spend your life doing, it's a waste of potential. There's so much more to life than building remote control airplanes. There's so much more to life than throwing a ball through a hoop or becoming competent at throwing a ball through a hoop.
Like training at the academy.
Like training at the academy. You know what? Put it this way. For all Michael Jordan is trained, I use him as an example because of training, of the actual training, but I would say finished product. I would rather, I think it's more important that Travo learns how to become a teacher or how to become a doctor than Michael Jordan learns how to throw a ball through a hoop. I don't consider that anything. If I was looking at finished products, I wouldn't consider Michael Jordan's accomplishments, like he has like 6 rings. I don't consider that to be anything. He's very skilled at throwing a ball through a hoop. I don't care if he has 6 rings. That means nothing to me. It's more important to me that you learn social interaction. That's more valuable to me than him learning how to throw a ball through a hoop.
So Dr. Ladice would be a more valuable finished product than Michael Jordan?
Yes, to me, Dr. Ladice is more valuable than Michael Jordan, ultimately, because Dr. Ladice can do more than throw a ball through a hoop.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have 6 rings, but in my eyes, he has something more valuable than 6 rings.
Okay.
He can lead an interaction.
I just wanted to... your answer, I speculated that was the answer, but I'm glad that you clarified.
Now you got the answer. Now we're over time. Thank you, students, for another wonderful episode of Manhood Academy Podcasting. We'll see you again soon.